Congratulations! You finally received your headrest for the Embody chair by OfficeLogix. Let's get to opening this and doing a quick install so you can finally start to enjoy it. I'm going to open up the box here, which you've probably received through FedEx or UPS. And the first thing you're going to notice, set of instructions. 2 pages. Your second page has a QR code if you want to not read and hopefully see a video of us doing the install, which you might see through this one here that we're doing right now. Put those off to the side in case you ever need it when you're removing it and reinstalling. We're going to uncover some of the other major parts. Here, you're going to remove the foam sleeve for the top of the headrest. The most important part, most comfortable part too. You're going to also have a sleeve covered spine component. And it has the toolless screw and bolt actually rather, which we're extremely proud of. So you don't really need any Allen keys or anything of that nature. If when you remove your spine from the bag and you don't see a metal gear inside of this on the inside face, will be the left face if the spine was facing towards you. This metal gear should be in there. If it's not in there, then it must have fallen out and in the bag here somewhere. So just give it a nice little shake and it should fall out, and then you can be able to easily insert it in there. It's not glued in. So just put it in there and align it and you should be good to go. It's a 1 second process. The tension control and the gears that go with it. In addition, a protective film for the installation process, so you don't scuff up the back of your spine. Quick note, when you're removing this setup out of the bag, this bolt may come loose. If you don't see this bolt, go through this bag and you will see the bolt that you need, and then just make sure you have it there. So it's critical to maintaining the tension bolt. And here's the cover that goes on top of it. We're gonna just put these off to the side and start with the protective film. This is not a sticker, by the way. This is a film, and we decided to go with a film rather than a sticker so it would not leave any yucky, nasty residue all over the back of the spine and then have a kind of a grimy mess for you to clean up. Without further ado, the first step, now that you have your film, you're going to wrap this around. You're going to keyword wrap, because this does not gonna stick until it touches itself on the other side. So you're gonna do it right below the HM logo where this antler stops. Start from the back and then wrap it, and then try to keep it tight. It's not critical that it's perfect, because then again, it is a temporary just protective film that you're going to only need during installation, and then maybe you can keep it on or trash it after installation. It's up to you. Now that it's on, your protective film is there, and we can start the spine installation. Back to the spine, you'll notice there is a rubber hook that's critical. That was something that we got feedback from the community. They mentioned that they were concerned with friction affecting the top of the chair here. So we made a color matched rubber hook that's silicone, so it's soft to the touch, easy to clean and durable, and yet won't affect the back of your chair in any way, shape, or form. Next, we're going to remove the bolt that secures the back stopper. This is the vertical back stopper. This keeps your spine from sliding up and down. Once you've removed that, you're going to remove the stopper by slightly applying pressure outwards from the 2 prongs on the bottom and then sliding it down. Very simple. Put the stopper off to the side. Now we're going to start by hooking the top, and you're going to align it so it's perfectly centered where the Herman Miller logo goes through. And then you're going to loop the tag through our tag hole and logo hole, which we are very proud to design, and also from great feedback from the community. Once you're at that position, you're going to take the 2 prongs on the bottom and then push them outward and then push the whole spine in. And it's going to be a little bit of a click. This is why we use the protective film, because there's a little bit of friction during that process. Now that it's through, it's very secure. It's not moving anywhere, but for added security, we're going to do this vertical stopper. I'm going to give you a small pro tip on this part. This needs to be facing outwards this way, towards the back. And then while you are installing this, there's 2 braille dots right here. These braille dots on each side have holes, corresponding holes. They will snap in. To make them snap in easier, you're going to apply a very slight downward pressure on the spine during that process. Downward pressure, slip this in behind the antler, and then you're going to try to get the 2 clicks on both sides. Okay. Once you have the clicks, you're going to hold on to that, and then you're going to take the bolt, making sure that the holes are aligned from the stopper and the spine. Thread it through. The first one makes it easier, then you thread it through the second one. Once it's threaded through the second one, you're going to start tightening. Tighten it to a reasonable amount. Once it stops, you're good to go. This bad boy isn't moving anywhere. Next, we're going to attach my favorite part of the headrest, the cushion part. Start with only 2 components of this setup. This part and the knob rod. This part is going to go on the side that has the corresponding vertical slit on the headrest cushion. And when we talk about alignment, that's going to be on the right, your right side, when the chair is facing backwards towards you. So start from the right. You're going to align the headrest over and onto the spine of the headrest, and then you're going to take this component with the vertical slot and align it until it's perfectly aligned, and then has only very small wiggle room, and then so that this holds into space and doesn't fall apart. While you get the rest of the parts, you take the rod, you flip it through. Now you can let go without it falling apart. Now you can go back to the other parts here that you need to start setting up the tension of the headrest and the angle of the headrest. You're going to take the metal gear. It has 4 notches. These 4 notches are going to correspond to the 4 notches on the sides of the headrest. You're going to put them in, thread it through the rod and push as much as you can all the way in. And then this component is the final cap. Make sure again the nut is on the end of it, because this secures the rod and allows you to secure it and unsecure it, and then also adjust the tension. With that in there, you can feel free to put the cap, and then also there are notches. The notches need to be aligned. You can move them until you find that alignment, and then slowly wiggle it in. Once it's in, you can start to tighten the tension. Continue to spin until you start to feel some tension, and then it's tightened. Now it's good to go. Your headrest is now fully assembled. Now it's a matter of adjustment. First thing you might want to do is unflop the headrest so that it's not flopping. You might want to loosen it up to a certain extent. Now that it's loosened, adjust it so it's kind of vertical with the back, then tighten it. Now that it's adjusted there, you might want to align the actual pivot part, upper component, and adjust the height to what you expect is your reasonable height. Now that you've done that, you're going to test it, and then you're going to go back and either adjust it accordingly, higher, lower, angled, so on and so forth. And that might adjust also with the position that you're doing right now. If you're working, it's a more upright posture, or if you are in a lazy mode, either gaming or watching a movie or something of that nature, or just leaning back during a meeting, you might have it angled in a slightly different position as well. So that being said, you can finally sit in your chair, lean back, test it. And then you can also do some slight adjustments in terms of the pivoting while you're sitting down from the upper part. And then you can also loosen up the knobs for the height and maybe raise the height if you wish. In my situation, I would probably lower it and then lock it in from those same two knobs. Thanks a lot, guys, for being our customers. We'd love to hear your feedback and any comments on how to make us better would be greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.